beige. I'm sorry, I think I'd better take this. It's my wife on Uvu.
Hi, Dad!
Hey, Pumpkin, what are you doing?
I'm Uvuing.
Very funny. What? 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 What?
Make the money!
Where's your mother?
Mom!
What?
I love you.
Love you too.
Business cards, CD inserts, flyers, posters, or rack cards to promote your business or event? Well, if so, there's only one place to go. All Graphics and Printing. Check them out on the web at allgraphicsandprinting.com or give them a call at 407-532-4777. All Graphics and Printing. Shipping all across the country. And the official flyer and business card provider for the Jericho Broadcast Network.
Before the break about the girls in Africa. I'm Dawn Michelle. I'm here with Heidi and Sairi, and our other sister in voice is on vacation, Shay. So we're gonna finish up our discussion about the girls in Nigeria, and then we have a surprise special guest who's gonna call in and tell you guys some really good information that we want you guys to listen to and call in on. Again, the number is 678-701-3738. We are at skycitymg.com/talk radio. So let's finish up with the girls in Nigeria.
Well, this is the information that I found out while we were gone. Okay, so just one slight correction. Boko Haram is not the name of a person. It's actually the name of the full group of militants who've kidnapped the girls. Mm-hmm. So their name means a Western education is sinful, and so I think that that's kind of ironic because once again they stole girls from a school, while they were trying to get some time of education, whatever that education was. They don't know what type of education they were getting. They just stole these girls. But I thought it was interesting that Fox News, because this is Fox News with their spin, called them a group of Christian girls.
Don't even get me on Fox News. Oh my gosh.
That the education that they were getting was some type of westernized education. But I don't know if we even know that. I just think these girls were trying to get some kind of education, and that's reason why they were taken. Well, no, that's not the full reason they were taken, but I'm sure that this group felt like, nah, y'all not about to do this. We about to get our dues back. Our militant folks back, and we're going to use this to further our cause.
Which is what I was saying, that they're trying to use the girls as a barter deal to get back. Right. They want the government to get some of their people in their organization out of jail. Right. So they said they'll give some of the girls back if some of the guys are taken out of, or gotten out of jail. But I'm just like, okay, they're probably in jail for a reason.
Right.
And the girls didn't do anything. But, I mean, we're talking about terrorists, so they don't care. What? Like you said, Sayuri, they don't care about important things.
Right.
They just care about what they want.
It's a lot of corruption in African countries, and I'm pretty sure that if he can go to a school in good conscience, right, and get some people that are innocent, what he's trying to say is that his people are innocent. So we're gonna let. If he was to go get some people,
that's
just
probably
anybody, that's he's clearly he feels like I'm gonna get somebody that's innocent and that you weren't suspecting you know, you weren't worried about somebody just coming and getting, just like we weren't worried about y'all coming to get us. We don't know what it is. But I'm having like the point of reference that I'm looking at this story from is I'm thinking about a book that I know, Infidel by Ayan Ali, Hirsi Ali, where she speaks about being a woman growing up in African countries, different African countries. I mean, sprawling. Like, you know, it's different in each country. And just how the women have no rights. And, you know, a boy in your family would have to go and speak for you in a market. If you were to leave your house, you would have to have a male. It doesn't matter if he's 3 or 4 years old. He needs to speak to you if it's addressing a man, because
now,
you're a
was
woman.
she a slave or anything?
She was
or
a girl in this country. This is how women are treated.
But she wasn't a slave or
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. She was just a girl, but she ended up escaping because it came a point where it was time for her to be, you know, mutilated. Because they would mutilate those girls.
Genitalia mutilation.
Yeah, it's like they would castrate the girls, like they would like cut off their clitoris so that they would not enjoy sex, and then sew them up to where nothing could come out or go in until marriage. So when they urinated, it would just drip out.
That's a common custom.
Right. So
in
that climate, though them going to getting those girls, it's kind of like, this is what we do. I mean, to me, it's really saying that we value the women. Because what if they went and got boys?
Well, you know what? One of the things that I was thinking is that somebody in that group of girls is somebody's child of some significance, and nobody has brought that to the forefront yet.
Yeah,
but I just really feel like somebody's child in this school is somebody important with some connection and pull, and they knew that.
Just like Rush Hour,
Right. So I'm just throwing that out there because that was really my thought.
The movie Rush Hour.
She went there. Okay.
Yeah, I get it
old school side.
Now, what was the name of the book again? Because we may have some avid readers out there who may want to go on Amazon and buy the book or whatever.
It's called Infidel, and it's by Ayan Hirsi Ali.
Infidel.
Her last name is Ali, A-L-I, and it's Infidel, just the way it's spelled. But anyway, the lady ended up being an atheist. She moved to like Norway or something, and she's an advocate for women all over the world who flee from that type of situation because the arranged marriages. She explained about how that works. It was horrifying. You are a child, you're married, and it's like she's speaking from experience. And to know that, listening, I'm like, okay, because I listened to it was an audiobook, that she was young and she knew that she couldn't love who she wanted to love. Like she already knew that from a young age. And then it became a problem when she actually got to that point, and then she was ready to do something about it when she got moved to another country, like nomad, like just roaming around till she found a place to be. And I'm like, that's crazy that, you know, it's the motherland and this a place. But it's like, it's horrifying to hear some of the customs that you would have to live through. Like,
that are just regular for
But
them.
what's interesting about that is these are not just African customs. These are Indian customs. These are
it was more
customs,
Muslim
customs.
Well,
but I used
arranged
to work
marriage
here in Atlanta with some refugee children who had been what they call circumcision for girls. That's what they basically call it. And those girls were circumcised before they were, helped to get out of the country. So, you know, as they grow up, they're beautiful girls, beautiful young women. But once again, if they ever did marry, they'll never know that pleasure side. And that's a common custom across the world. That's not an uncommon custom.
What was horrible was the description of the wedding night, because like it was sewn up, and that night it was opened up, and it wasn't any Novocaine or any type of nothing cane to help you.
So wait a minute. So they
unsew it.
They stitch it with stitches
when they're out of town or gone, and when they come back, because they don't want anybody else to touch their woman. They unsew it every time they.
Well, no, they just.
Oh my God.
No, but this is something I was told by some of the young women I was working with. But I hear what you're talking about.
Yeah, she didn't say that in the book.
Can I just opt to go in the hospital and be transferred into being a man? I mean,
well,
it's not about being a man.
I would rather do that.
It's not even about that. It's about just preserving your. And just keeping you just for one person, And just and like kind of like putting a lock on somebody. Correct. That's like the equivalent. So, yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
Well, the book sounds great. I think I'm actually gonna have to
get
that one. Yeah.
And I got an audiobook, so it was good.
So our next topic that we're moving into, we wanted to alert everybody that this month is actually Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month. I had no idea about that. I actually should, because actually the month of April is Child Abuse Month, which is what I do for a living in my profession. But I didn't know that Teen Prevention Pregnancy Month was this month.
Yeah, neither did I.
And I think that's interesting because it's also the month of a lot of
Proms and graduation. Yeah, proms. Well, proms are probably, most of them have already happened.
Right.
But graduations are coming up,
Right.
you know, and all of that stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, we have a caller.
And I think the caller is our special guest that we have today. We have Miss LaSean Tutt from www.dreamsfirst.org, and she's going to talk to you guys about this being Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month and what her organization does, dreamsfirst.org. Hi, LaSean.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, and you?
We're so glad that you are joining us today. So tell us a little bit about dreamsfirst.org and what the organization does.
Dreams with Open Arms is a nonprofit for young women and men as it relates to keeping them sexually healthy.
Okay. So I guess you guys do condoms and birth control and all of that kind of stuff?
We do a lot of education. Our goal is to make young people aware, let them know preventive measures, interventions, and service.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. LaSean, this is Heidi talking. When you guys are teaching your education programs, is it, and I just want to be clear, a lot of times with a lot of our teen prevention programs, some of them are religious-based, some of them are not. So I just wanted to kind of hear how you guys approach the particular issue. LaSean?
I can barely hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You couldn't hear me? I was asking you, was your organization religious-based?
No, it's not. It's not religious-based. But we also deal with the principles of the Bible.
Okay. So do you guys provide a lot of education in the community? Do you guys also go into the school system, or what's the situation with that?
We deal with some school systems in the area.
Okay. So what's the average age of the girls? Are you seeing just girls? Are you seeing boys too?
Both.
Or what's the situation?
Boys and girls, she said.
What's
both.
the age range?
12 to 19.
Okay. And are they going through some type of, sometimes they have like rites of passages programs or any type of program you all have like that?
We have a program that deals with, it's called Support Matters.
Can you tell me about that program?
Support Matters is just a support group.
Oh, okay. So basically you can come to this organization. So let's say I'm a teenager, I'm 16. Let's say I think I'm pregnant. If I was to come to you guys, what would happen?
We would get your information, find out your living status, find out if you're still in school, and once we get those things clear, if you're 16 and you don't live at home, we have to find you a place to go.
So you guys do provide resources in the community for teens who may have gotten pregnant?
Yes, we're connected with a few maternity homes.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So you guys are a full service center then, not just a prevention program.
Right.
Okay.
Ladies, in case we have anybody who may want to call in and ask LaSean some questions, we may have some people listening who have teenagers and need some guidance and maybe want to ask LaSean some questions, you guys can call us at 678-701-3738 if you want to ask LaSean any questions about dreamsfirst.org if you have a teenager and you may need
Advice.
Right. Advice as a parent.
I was just going to ask you, LaSean, do you have a program that also works with the parents of these kids as well, or just the kids?
It's both. The support matter is a twofold group. It could be with the parents or it can be without. We have a lot of women that deals with the program where older women comes in to even be support for the teen moms.
Okay, I completely understand. I just, a lot of times I see programs pop up, but, I know that it's hard sometimes to get kids or even parents to come through your doors. How do you guys get most of your referrals, or how do they come through to your center?
A lot of our work has been word of mouth.
Okay. Do you guys have a physical location?
We do a lot of mobile because the central location of most of the girls, they're not, especially Atlanta being so stretched out, we try to go to where they are.
Okay, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, I like that idea. Have you guys had any pushback in the community since you started your program?
Not really.
So everybody's been pretty supportive.
Yes.
And Dreams First has been in existence for, 10 years?
Yes. Going on 11 in October.
How did you guys first get started?
It's been a passion of mine since I can remember. Back when we was in junior high school, a cousin of mine got pregnant at the age of 13, and her mom put her out.
Oh.
And when my mom used to go to bed at night, I used to sneak her in so she can take a bath and get something to eat and have a good place to sleep.
Wow.
And before my mom would get up to go to work in the morning, I would let her out.
Now, how is she today? Because she was 13 back then.
She's good today.
Okay.
She has several beautiful girls with grandkids.
So that situation worked out positively.
You are an angel for her. Absolutely.
Yes.
Is there anything that you wanted to maybe tell our listeners that, some advice you wanted to give our listeners if they have children who are at sexual active age or who possibly might be pregnant? Is there anything you want to let us know, LaSean?
Yes, we have a program called Step Up and Be Safe campaign, and the campaign is one that we distribute condoms throughout the community. And just to get the teens open to have a conversation about using condoms and using them properly.
Right. Besides condoms, do you guys provide any other things, any other types of contraceptive or anything that through your organization?
When it comes to like birth control and birth control pills, you have to have a medical doctor on staff.
I understand. Totally. I get it.
But there are community resources like the health centers that have Planned Parenthood
Right.
for teen girls to go without their parent consent.
Do you guys?
They can go in and say, I want birth control, and they don't have to get their parent permission to give it.
Do you guys do anything like maybe extra special for Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month? Like, do y'all have any special programs just for May, or any events? Yeah, for May.
Events that we do mini conferences. We do round tables.
Is there anything maybe coming up in the next couple weeks, or anything that maybe we can maybe give a shout out in case somebody's interested in coming?
In the upcoming 2 weeks, we're split into South Carolina. So the first 2 weeks we do Georgia, and the last 2 weeks we do South Carolina because we reached over into South Carolina. So the next 2 weeks we'll be over there doing our activities.
Oh, okay. This is Sayeri. This is so inspirational, and I'm so glad that you are doing this. And I'm sure there's some people that would probably want to help you. Is there a phone number or a website where they can get in touch with you to help you?
www.dreamsfirst.org.
Okay. And is there anything that you are specifically looking for with your organization, like as far as anything that you need for your what you have to do?
The biggest thing we're trying to push right now is to get our mobile condom van so we can go throughout multiple states to spread awareness on keeping our children sexually healthy.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
So is there anything that's here like just locally that you would need done just in Atlanta that's like not mobile? Something where somebody could probably come and volunteer or help you do something just here? Or is
They could register or leave a comment on the website, tell us their skills, and when things come up, I would get in contact with them so they could volunteer.
Okay. Do you have a Facebook or Twitter account or Instagram?
Twitter is Dreams First. Facebook is Dreams with Open Arms.
Okay. Let me just make
All right, LaSean. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the phone today. And your classmate Roy is giving you a shout out.
Hey, Roy.
I'm assuming you guys went to FAMU together.
No, we went to Miami Jackson together.
Okay.
He is my class of '89 classmate.
Okay. Okay.
And I just I truly appreciate the opportunity to just spread the word
You
on
can tell us
keeping
some
our
embarrassing
young
stories
people
about
healthy.
him later. You can tell us some embarrassing stories about Roy in high school later, okay?
You got one band stories.
Some band stories. Ah.
We really appreciate you coming, and we appreciate the information. I actually work, this is Heidi again, I actually work in the child advocacy field. I deal with a lot of teens in our centers, and this is definitely some resource information that I can give them, because a lot of times, teens don't feel comfortable talking to their parents. So they need an extra resource. So I appreciate you so much, LaSean.
Thank you, LaSean.
Appreciate it.
LaSean. I'll be in touch with you. This is our area. This is beautiful, and I want to be a part of it with you.
Okay.
All right. So, since are we going to break?
Are we going to break?
Are we going to break? Okay, so we're going to go to break, and we will come back with another topic.
Yes, because we still need to finish Donald Sterling.
Right. So this is the Queen's EyeView. We'll be back, guys.
So the salient features, once more, of the GS 4200 model. It's manufactured than its venerable predecessor, and up to, 17% quieter. Naturally, it's available in both. Sorry about that. Gray beige. I'm sorry, I think I'd better take this. It's my wife on OVO. Hey, Pumpkin, what are you doing?
I'm Uberling.
Very funny. What? 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 What?
Make the money!
Where's your mother?
Mom!
What?
I love you.
Love you too.
Do you need business cards, CD inserts, flyers, posters, or rack cards to promote your business or event? Well, if so, there's only one place to go. All Graphics and Printing. Check them out on the web at allgraphicsandprinting.com or give them a call at 407-532-4777. All Graphics and Printing. Shipping all across the country. And the official flyer and business card provider for the Jericho Broadcast Network.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
So the salient features, once more, of the GS 4200 model. To manufacture than its venerable predecessor, and up to, 17% quieter. Naturally, it's available both, sorry about that. Grain beige. I'm sorry, I think I'd better take this. It's my wife on EyeView. Hey, Pumpkin, what are you doing?
I'm Ubering.
Very funny. What? 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 What?
Make the money!
Where's your mother?
Mom!
What?
I love you.
Love you too.
Here with a Queen's EyeView, and I'm here with my hosts Dawn and Sahiri, and our radio sister Shay is not with us this week, but she's on vacay, so we miss her. We'll holler at her next week. I wanted to jump into our next topic because when we left last time, I mentioned that we needed to talk about the Donald Sterling follow-up interviews. He did one with Anderson Cooper. And also, Magic Johnson did a response interview, from my understanding, Donna's telling me. I didn't get to see that one. But I just wanted to start by saying this. If I was Donald's advisors, or if I was his lawyer, I would be telling him to be quiet. Because every time he talks, he seems to walk himself into more crap. The interview started off where it seemed as though he was apologizing. But then what it turned into was, I think he got a little offended or irritated by Anderson's questions. And then he went from apologizing for his words to calling out Magic Johnson, talking about, first he said, I respect him. He's done a lot. But what has he done for the community? And why would we want to respect a guy who has AIDS? Of course, Anderson had to correct him and said, I don't think he has AIDS. He has HIV.
He doesn't have AIDS.
It's a difference.
He doesn't have AIDS.
He said that Magic Johnson was the one who called him and told him, I know what's going down. Wait, hold up. Don't say anything. Just wait a while. It'll blow down and blow over. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just thought this was really interesting because the more he talked, the more I was sitting there in lawyer mode thinking, just be quiet because you just keep digging yourself in a hole. You got some thoughts on this, Don? Because I didn't see Magic's interview.
Well, before we jump to Magic's interview, he he even went off on Anderson Cooper.
Oh yeah.
And said that Anderson Cooper was a racist and because Anderson was kind of going back with him, and he even insulted Anderson. I'm like, how you going to insult Anderson Cooper?
How did he insult him? What did he say to him?
He said something about him being, well, you're the one who's the racist. You're the one who's the... I was like, how you going to say Anderson Cooper is a racist? No, he's not. And he was apologizing because he feels bad from all the backlash, but he has yet to apologize to Magic Johnson, which will get me over into that interview. Magic Johnson, I'm sorry, I don't know. I was very proud. I have to say that I was very proud of Magic Johnson. He was professional. He answered all of the questions. He didn't answer around the questions like Mr. Sterling was doing. And he kept it real. He kept it supportive. And he said that Mr. Sterling did not do his research, saying that he doesn't do anything for the community. He was like, he needs to do his research because that's not true. And he said, I don't work for the Dodgers. I own the Dodgers.
Well, that's true. What I thought was kind of interesting was that Sterling said, I'm not a racist. I help minorities. What has he done for minorities? And I thought...
Well, he's talking about, he says the Jewish people always get together and help their own. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's good. But there's no reason for you to go. First of all, Magic Johnson didn't want to be put in the middle of all of this anyway. He said, first of all, we should be having a good time and enjoying this great first round of basketball playoffs that we just had. Okay, he said this is the best first round of basketball playoffs that we've had in like 30 years. And instead of being focused on that and how many points LeBron James scored the other night, how good this team is playing, how good that team is playing, blah, blah, blah. Instead of enjoying the playoffs, we're focusing on Mr. Sterling.
Right.
You know what? I'm listening because I did not look at I haven't seen any of the interviews. I haven't heard them. I just know what happened in general. But my question is, have you ever said anything about somebody that you really don't want nobody to know about?
Of course.
Obviously. We all have.
Right. Because I'm thinking about, like, if somebody was to sit and record me talking, right? Just because I can be very raw. I don't know if you guys can believe that. But I can
never, Sayuri.
It's true. And it's like, if anybody was to record some of that stuff, it would literally choke the life out of some people. Like, it would be bad. It would be... People would want to make me pay for it. But I live in America, and I should be free to say what I want, right? Especially in the privacy of my own home.
Right.
Now, if somebody's recording me...
That's the only thing he gets.
Right, but I'm saying it got outside of his home. Like, he said all of these really, really racist things. You know, I don't know him. I don't like him. I mean, just the way he looks, he's really ugly, so I don't like him. I mean, I'm not saying...
Did you have to go there, Sayuri?
I'm just saying I wouldn't have anything else to base it on. I'm never going to meet him. I'm never going to be his friend or nothing. I mean, he has no reason. I don't really care about his opinion of me, okay? Or my kind or anything. But I'm really more concerned about the female that was half of what he hated, and he was with her. But anyway, if somebody was to get a hold of something that I said in private and then they put it on blast and then it was a problem, I would really be like, why are y'all worried about something I said? I was just saying how I felt. That's how I feel. It's America. I can feel like that. If KKK people have the right to dress up and burn crosses and walk as long as they're not hurting anybody, just on the freedom of speech type of deal, it's kind of the same thing. And I'm not supporting him because I don't like racist people. You know, I really don't. I don't like the backbone of America. You know, it's very racist. And at some point we're supposed to be speaking about the judicial affirmative action that needs to take place in America so that we can all have the same justice system, so that we can all have the same consequences and when we do the same thing. But it's kind of like, to me, it's a setup. It's showing you what will happen if a white man do it. My question is, what was going to happen when a black person make the same type of blunder? And what is he going to lose? Because this man lost some money here, but it's a drop in the bucket for him.
The thing that I think is interesting about your comment, because I had this conversation with a friend of mine who's a reporter, and honestly, it seems to me that the only way that something ever affects, and I'm just talking about Caucasian America, who has money. We ain't talking about everybody else. We're talking about the ones who have money. the only way that something is going to affect them with any type of penalty is if it hits their pocket. And you talking about the $250,000 fine or whatever that the NBA $2 million. I'm sorry. Thank you, Roy, for clarifying that for me that he got. But you losing a team, that's billions of dollars. So, you know, I see that. I see him getting on there trying to do this apology and trying to talk to everybody. But see, my whole thing is, yeah, you got busted, but you got more. You got a lot to lose.
But he's 1,000.
Yeah, but
he's almost dead.
Yeah, I get you. What I'm saying, but what I do notice is that it seems like, just like back in the day when, who was the guy, Roy? I can't remember the guy's name. Who was the radio host who called the basketball team nappy-headed hoes? Imus. The only thing that got to him, Imus had been talking mess forever. The only thing that got to him is when he lost his job and was losing in his pocket.
What is he doing right now?
Well, he's back on the radio.
Boom.
He's still back on the radio, which is why I said it's different consequences for us as it is for them. We might get we might be criticized, we might be slandered, our character might be slandered, but if we ain't got nothing, what are we gonna lose in the first place? I mean, we could get sued if we had real money, but in this case, I don't see it happening because people say stuff all the time. You're absolutely right. So and a lot of people are going to bring up, well, this is a privacy breach and, this is entrapment. You know what I mean? But the thing is, when you're in a position of power and you're dealing with somebody, you just need to be cautious.
Right. But you know what I will say? You're right. And what I
just
will
a little bit more cautious.
That, this female, what's her name that told on him?
V. Stiviano, whatever her name is.
I don't gotta know your name.
Yeah, Stiviano.
Ma'am, you win side chick of the award, the side chick of the year award of how to come up and get out and just tie all of it up at the same time. Because she blew that man's spot off the map.
She did.
Got paid. I'm sure she got paid over a lifetime of their relationship.
And when Magic Johnson did his interview, he said that this is not the first time that some racial issues have come up dealing with Mr. Sterling.
Of course
There's something that happened several years ago, and I forget the gentleman's name who he was involved with, but something came up with him several years ago, and that guy was not supported in what he said about Mr. Sterling. And Magic said that he regrets now that guy did not get the support that he should have gotten when he brought up the racial issues about Mr. Sterling a long time ago, because we wouldn't even be dealing with this now.
That was, and I think that was behind the firing of one of the coaches in the league who came against him. No, I'm incorrect.
Well, maybe if they hit him before.
Producers? Was I incorrect?
I don't know, but you know what? If they had hit him before, whatever fine he got would have probably affected him to the point where it would probably make a difference. Because if you're 80 million years old and you making comments about race, we're not going to change this man's mind.
Well,
I'm not even worried about how much money he loses the last 4 hours of his life.
That's what I said about. That's what I said about Paula Deen. Are y'all really shocked that some Southern lady from Savannah is making racial comment? Really? Come on now.
You don't know what this man used to. You don't know where he came up. He go up to black people and slap them and nothing happened.
Right.
He's mad that he can't do that no more. I don't know what's on their mind.
You're
old white
absolutely
people,
You're
when they say
absolutely
something
right.
racist, you just need to hope that they don't do any action behind it, because you don't know in their mind if they know if they can and can't do whatever.
Well,
they used to do whatever they want to do.
And my mom always say, when you get a certain age, you can say what you want to say because you've earned the right to say what you want to say because you've been on this earth as long as you have. I mean, that's what that old
Amen, hallelujah.
And he's
you can
80
say what
years
you
old.
want to say.
He's 80 years old. Does he not qualify for that mindset?
So it's not about the fact that he said it. It's just about the fact that he got caught saying it because he got caught up in the scandal.
I'm not trying to make him care. I'm not trying to make him be mad and regret it. Man, sir, you're 1,000, whatever. Whatever. Okay, sir. Good night. It's over. It's almost over for him.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's dog.
She is hilarious. So what you were saying, I actually had the conversation about this with a coworker.
Okay.
And he took your vantage point in the fact that he was in the privacy of his own home.
He was, though.
Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want to about anything that you want to when you're in the privacy of your own home. When I'm talking in the privacy of my own home, I say some things that I would not say in public. So, but because, like you said, because this is 2014, cameras are everywhere we go, except the bathroom. probably.
Maybe, yeah. We don't know.
And there is social
elevators.
media, there is all these smartphones and all of this stuff. So he didn't know he was being recorded. And now he's got to go back and apologize, and he's got all these people hating. But Magic Johnson, like I said before, I was very proud of him in the interview. He said that he is a God-fearing man, and he is going to pray for Mr. Sterling. He said what Mr. Sterling needs to do is sell the team, take his money, and enjoy the rest of his life. What, 4 hours he got left?
4 hours. 4 hours. 5. I give him 5.
What do you think about LeBron saying that if Donald Sterling is still owning that team, that he's going to lead a boycott of the NBA at the beginning of next season? Repeat that.
Okay, so our great and fabulous producer
Producer.
Roy said that LeBron James says that if Mr. Sterling continues to own the team, he's going to lead a boycott at the beginning of the next basketball season.
You know what I want LeBron James to do, and a lot of his other people that follows him into that boycott, is to give money to the black community and help some people open up some black businesses and stop wearing a whole bunch of gold and try to help the boys be better than just dope boys and trying to profess to be rappers. Do something like that. I respect that. This Sayuri.
Actually, LeBron is the way dude.
All right, do some more of that. Lead everybody behind you on that.
Okay, this is all I have to say about
She didn't
that.
take her medication today, y'all.
I kind of did, and that's why I'm hyped.
This is all I'm gonna say about that. I often think it's interesting that people say things, but once again, the NBA is a business. This is a business.
Yes.
So what you say affects people's
Yes.
pocketbooks.
Yes.
There are a lot of things tied into this. So LeBron can say what he wants to say, but I think they'll have it worked out before the beginning of next season because it's a business. And that's really.
But the reason I said the reason I made the comments about leading other black men out of just wanting to be a basketball player is because when you said Sterling kind of tried to throw Magic under the bus, well, he hasn't done this in the black community, right?
Right.
It's like you already know as a white man, you've watched black men come into contact with all this money, and you watch how much money trickles back into the community. So, as a white man, to throw that at Magic as something that everybody, we don't know what he's doing. We don't know anybody for charity work, right? We just know about the movies, and we thank you for that. You know, it was good over there at Greenbrier. They were stealing cars. We left, but it's all right. That was a bad location. You know, try again. It's good. But look, if you get some more people on the same team that's trying to help people fund businesses, these young boys have minds that calculate money, but it's just illegal. So if you can help them figure out legal ways to be men instead of just trying to be athletes and little boys the rest of their life, that would really be helpful, guys.
Once again, we're getting ready to go to a break, but if you guys have any opinions, please call in 678-701-3738. Once again, this is the Queen EyeView, and we got Sayuri, Dawn, and Heidi. Take it away, Roy.
Do you need business cards, CD inserts, flyers, posters, or rack cards to promote your business or event? Well, if so, there's only one place to go, All Graphics and Printing. Check them out on the web at allgraphicsandprinting.com or give them a call at 407-532-4777. All Graphics and Printing, shipping all across the country, and the official flyer and business card provider for the Jericho Broadcast Network.
So the salient features, once more, of the GS 4200 model. Manufactured than its venerable predecessor, and up to 17% quieter. Naturally, it's available both. Sorry about that. Gray beige. I'm sorry. I think I'd better take this. It's my wife on Uvu.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Pumpkin. What are you doing?
I'm Uvuing.
Very funny. What? 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 What?
Take the money.
Where's your mother?
Mom.
What?
I love you.
Love you too.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small, affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
And I'm here with Heidi and Sairi. And we were talking before the break about Mr. Sterling's interview with Anderson Cooper and also Magic Johnson's interview with Anderson Cooper. And we want to wrap that up, and then we're going to move on to another topic. But as we wrap that up, we want to bring up something that we thought was very interesting that we know some of us will have some very strong views about. So, Mr. Sterling was given what award was it?
NAACP.
An NAACP award. Now, earlier I was speaking about a racial issue that he was dealing with several years ago that didn't really get a lot of attention because the guy who was hammering him didn't get any support.
Right, a general manager. Right.
So that, and it's so ironic because he was given the NAACP award right after that happened. However, he was given the NAACP award because he dropped a lot of cash. So
the question is, who got it and where is it?
It should be burned.
They
should take it back like they took back Miss America from Vanessa Williams.
This is a service reminder.
They should take it back.
All billionaires and millionaires need tax write-offs. And so that's why we donate money. We don't just donate money at the bottom of our heart. Well, some of us do, but those of us who do that don't have a whole lot of money. True. People who have a whole lot of money have to have a stringent tax law to meet. So if you're going to give away money, that's the best way to relieve yourself of taxes every year. And that's just how I feel.
I get that, but my question is, okay, when you drop that money, what change is that money making in the hands of people whose purpose is to help black people? I don't get it, and I don't see the change. I'm trying to figure out what happened with the money, who exactly got it, and what did it do?
The NAACP got it, right?
Right, but we don't know exactly what they would have done with that money for the community, and we can't speculate on that. If he had dropped it in the National Negro College Fund, that would have been a little different, because then I would have known that would have gone to scholarships around the country to help young minorities get into college.
See, white billionaires don't make their money off of black students that are educated. They make their money off of ignorant black people who wear gold and dribble the ball all day.
You're right about that.
You're that's America did not have a backup plan to slavery. Like, they didn't think about what else they're going to, everything else they're kind of like, by the seat of the pants, and they kind of just get over on who still don't know they're not free.
Right. No, I agree with you on that. So I hear you. But bottom line is, the man who was over the NAACP resigned, which I thought was ironic. And this is not a news story. He resigned once it was initially announced that they were going to give the award. They didn't give the award. The second one,
second one, yes.
Right. And then he resigned. And, I'm sure that was about community pressure, national pressure, because at this point the story was all over the country. But it's just interesting to me that, and just to let you guys know this, the history of the NAACP, their major award is based or is dedicated from a Jewish man. His name is, and I can't remember the name. I'm going to look that up so I can tell you guys. It's a Jewish name, Spindle or Spinberg, whatever it is. It's their top award that they give every year, and it's dedicated on behalf of a Jewish male, some famous Jewish male. And so to me that already is a little suspect. But I'm just giving y'all the facts. So, obviously he was donating to an organization that had some type of ties.
Do you guys believe in Jewish people and like the real Hebrew Israelite? Do you believe like there's a difference? Do you believe that the Jewish people who say they're Jewish are really Jewish? Are they the Jews or Jewish?
Break that down, Siri.
Okay. Jews are Jews. Right?
I mean,
black and blackish, Jews and Jewish. You see what I'm saying?
I see
who
what
are the real Jews? If you are Jewish, who is the real Jews? The real Jews are people of color who don't know. And the reason that I can understand why a Jewish man would do that for the NAACP is so that they feel like they're doing something, to help. Well, the real people.
Well, the interesting thing about that is Jews funded the slave trade just like everybody else. I'm just keeping it real amongst our other people. So wow. I'm not trying to put anybody under the bus, but history is what it is. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I think a lot of people are trying to do. Some of it might be for financial reasons. Some people might be trying to tone, but you do what you do because anybody wants to put themselves out in the community in a positive light. Nobody wants to be seen as a negative image. And apparently that's what Donald Sterling was doing, even though we know he was having past issues with people in the past. And everybody downplayed it because he was a billionaire with a lot of money and a lot of ties. Mm-hmm. And I just think this general manager, who was an African-American man that he had problems with, they just kind of swept it under the rug. But now he on tape. So, now you just got to pay the piper.
I think that if it had just come out and it was no woman involved, I don't know if it would be the same thing. Do you?
Well, I don't know. I just know because we have the Twitterverse and the Facebookverse and the whatever, it's going to be 3 times bigger than really what it is. Because really, when you listen to the interview, I'm being real with you, you hear a dude telling his lady what he expects. That's what he's doing. He's telling his lady what he expects her to or not to do. That was a personal conversation between 2 people who were supposedly in a relationship. Although now she's saying they weren't, and he's saying, "Well, I was doing all these things because I just, I was trying to sleep with her."
And he said he was slightly jealous.
Well, that too. But I mean,
he got a reason.
But that's the reason why he was having a conversation in the first place. But in the privacy of his home, like you said. Mm-hmm. But you just got caught up.
And isn't he old enough to be her grandfather?
Yeah, pretty much. So it is what it is.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm in my 30s. Okay, my ex-husband is 62. So I get it. Okay?
Oh.
But at the same time...
Drop that knowledge, Sarah.
I mean, I'm not. All I'm saying is this: she wins the award.
Side chick of the year.
Because she was a side chick. If she wasn't a side chick, you would get it for whatever chick you was to him. Okay, you win. Okay, high five.
All right.
So if anybody is feeling our conversation and excitement, give us a call, guys. Come share with us. 678-701-3738. Here at the Queen EyeView is 678-701-3738. We are going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. Our host, Sairi, has a segment, a Sayuri segment. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Sayuri's segment, which is we're completely changing. Like we're going all the way over into left field right here. Okay, just want y'all to know we're going all the way over into left field. Her segment is called A Straight Girl's Guide to the Strip Club. Now, last week, she gave rule number 1. Mm-hmm. This week, she's going to give
rule number 1. Do you remember?
Rule number 2. She's testing my knowledge. So, rule number 1 was, in case you weren't listening last week, rule number 1 is that if you're a straight girl and you're at the strip club, you are not coming there to chill. Okay? Don't come in there broke.
No, it's coming.
Don't come without money. If you're not coming to spend money, then don't come.
That's it. That was it. That was the tip. It was nothing. You can chill,
Pretty
but
much.
You got to spend money while you chill. That's
right. So she's gonna enlighten us with rule number 2. This should be interesting. I'm excited to hear what the straight girl's guide rule number 2 is.
Okay.
So I can do better when I go.
Okay. It's all love, people. It's all about helping and just, getting the strip club culture in a place where we can all enjoy it and keep it what it's supposed to be, okay? the straight girl's guide to visiting the strip club this week is do not dance when your song comes on. Okay?
Sorry. So wait a minute. When they play... When they
okay,
play,
if you're a straight girl and you're at the club,
when they play Drunken Love, I can't get up and dance.
Ma'am, when your song come on at a strip club, your job is to get a dancer to dance.
Oh,
okay. When your song comes on, now if you sitting there and you vibing, you chilling, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with chilling.
I can't drop it like it's hot.
Don't.
Oh.
Because you might not make it back up, because that's other people's job. And they might get physical with you about it. I've seen it too many times, because it's about money. You know what I'm saying?
It's a business.
It's a business. So if you in the club, strip club, and Drunken Love, that's your song. If it come on, find you somebody, give her 10 or 5, however much it costs at the club. It costs different places. Give her money and tell her to go for it. Tell her to represent.
Okay.
Represent. Right. Because what you gonna tell her is, look, I can't dance. I'm gonna need you to dance for me.
Oh.
That's what it's for a straight girl, because you're not looking for a big butt. I mean, what are you looking for as a straight girl? You just in there. But when your song come on as a straight girl, it's natural to want to dance.
Right.
But because you want to abide by these rules, which are the strip club rules, you want to get some other girl to dance for you, okay? And plus, it's against the law, really, for any woman to dance inside a club that does not have a permit.
Oh, well, shucks, we didn't know that.
You don't want to get, caught up in a raid
What
situation.
if I take my shirt off?
Ma'am, you will go to jail if it's a undercover police in there and they decide to raid it and they want to. They will fine the club actually for having people who are not licensed inside there, and then that club might turn around and sue you. You have to have a permit. You have to have a permit. And it's $300. It depends on where you at. If you're in DeKalb County, it's $300.
Roy didn't know you had to have a permit.
Roy needs to stay away. I'm putting a restraining order against Roy for the strip club because he don't want to abide by the rules, and that's okay. You just got to stay out. It's okay. You can be on whatever you want to be on. You just can't be inside with it. Nobody won't. It's not gonna work.
Actually, I've been doing it all wrong.
But
well, and that's why I'm confused, because I remember back in the day, this is back in the day, people, disclaimer, when Strokers on Lean was hot, it would look like a club up in there. I'm going to be real. It was girls, guys, couples, and strippers, and the people who was at the bar looking like they was jicking in the club.
What if I just want to get on the pool table and shoot some pool? Because I'm good.
Okay, if you good, I mean, are you making money? What you doing?
No, I just want to come to the strip club to shoot pool.
All right, I'm gonna say this: if a girl comes to you and she asks you for a dance, when you're finished, you need to remember the females that did approach you.
Yeah, most absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to interrupt your pool if you're doing something. You know what I mean? You're enjoying the other little things that they have inside the strip club. You can do that. But then you have to make sure that you remember them, the people that was nice to you. And if you do decide to spend some money, you want to spend it with people that approached you before you were in a place to give them some money.
Because that's a good point.
I can do that.
I get that.
Yeah.
But sorry, I get the point. You're just reminding us that it is a business. people are in there paying bills, and that we have to respect the rules of the club in general.
Right, and there are some women that come in for the same thing. They trying to pay some bills too. The thing is, they just need to get a permit. They need to speak to the manager about amateur night, because you don't have to have a permit for amateur night. You can come in on that night if you want to get naked and get the money like us. Come in. That's your day. Just ask for your day. You can't do it at any given moment. You just can't jump down and just do splits and all of that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That tells me how me old married women don't know what's going on the scene these days. My bad.
But you know what? You have women that come in and just really just want to pretend that they're a stripper too. They just want to pretend. But I'm gonna tell you what's nothing. It's nothing more pathetic.
Not pathetic. It's a pathetic.
That a wannabe stripper.
Oh no.
Impersonating a stripper inside of a strip club.
Oh no.
Can you tell me something that's more sad than that?
I understand what that means, because like in the sorority fraternity world, we call that perping. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a soror and I'm online and I'm in my chat room and some girl come in and she start talking and everybody's like, you ain't saying the right stuff. Why you perping? That's real disrespectful, and I get exactly what you're saying. Because if you didn't do what I needed to do to get my letters and work and do all the work, I know you can't be just walking around with my jacket and my colors on. I understand exactly how you feel.
Right.
Just take that, friend family.
Right. And I'm pretty sure. I'm so glad you shared that so that people can understand. It's not me being territorial. Or
get it.
It's just the way why I work, and everybody have rules to their clique and how to be. And I just want to prevent somebody from getting their hair snatched up out their head and they because I've seen so many people come in and just violate wild violations. They
on that note,
what you mean? You mean like Portia was about to snatch Kenya's hair out?
Snatch her balls.
I'm sorry. That was a housewife.
We're going to go to a break. Y'all having a moment. Please call us at 678-701-3738, and we'll be back with the more of Queen's EyeView.
Yes.
So the salient features, once more, of the GS 4200 model. To manufacture than its venerable predecessor, and up to, 17% quieter. Naturally, it's available both. Sorry about that. Gray and beige. I'm sorry, I think I'd better take this. It's my wife on Uvu. Hey, Pumpkin, what are you doing?
I'm Uberling.
Very funny. What? 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 What?
Make the money!
Where's your mother?
Mom!
What?
I love you.
I love you too.
Business cards, CD inserts, flyers, posters, or rack cards to promote your business or event? Well, if so, there's only one place to go. All Graphics and Printing. Check them out on the web at allgraphicsandprinting.com or give them a call at 407-532-4777. All Graphics and Printing. Shipping all across the country. And the official flyer and business card provider for the Jericho Broadcast Network.
Sayuri, and this is Heidi, and we are coming to our next segment of the show. If you missed it so far, it's been a little interesting. It's been kind of hot tonight, ladies. But I just wanted to touch on a couple of serious subjects that are in the news. This week, or in the last week, we had a shooting not at Therrell High School, but next to Therrell High School. And apparently about 5 people were shot, and 1 person is critical. And then the whole school was on lockdown. So let me just put my 2 cents on this real quick. We are in a state of peril and turmoil because I don't think that these things are going to become less. I think they're going to increase. I think kids are doing a copycat thing, and I think the shootings are just going to continue. It's almost like it's a damn fad. It's just, as far as I'm concerned, because they're just popping up. And it seems to me that the kids that are being busted, who got plots and plans, a lot of them, I'm just putting it out there because this is realistic. This is what you get when you bully kids around. When you bully a bunch of kids around and they get tired of it, they feel like, because teens are so dramatic and everything is so serious, like the world is coming to an end, that they have to take drastic measures to retaliate against you or whomever they feel like they're being threatened by. So I believe that this is going to continue to get worse because we have a lot of kids who are constantly being bullied, and with social media, it ain't getting any better. You guys put your 2 cents in.
I think that it sounds like just American culture is really just immersing us, and this is what we get. Because we as Americans, and I hate to even say we, I don't even want to include myself in this, but go around the world bullying everybody. And it just becomes a part of the personality of the people that support and vote for these people who do stuff like that. So really, they really feel like bullies to their heart. So they bully other countries. Your country bullies people, so you in your personal life should be able to bully people and have control and just kind of manipulate stuff to go your way. But just like, like Hezbollah and all of the rest of them, some people, like you say, they get together, they get tired of it, and then they're the bad guy when they do it.
Right.
So it's kind of like we all have the big thing, the big guy who's picking on the little guy, but we don't know what that little guy's potential is until that person brings it up out of him. And that's just how I see it, because bullying to me is not the same definition of what they call bullying. We used to, if that was the case, we all got bullied where I'm from. We all called each other names, and we laughed about it. It was hilarious. After a while, somebody called somebody ladder neck, mustard breath, just stupid stuff. But I mean, it's like, depending on how sensitive you are as a child, you take that all sensitive, you just, they don't like me, and it's like, sir, little man child, calm down. This is how the world works. You can't respond to people saying stuff about you. Now, if they're physically hitting them and, they're really just being beat every day and jumped on every day, I say fight back, because you haven't been fighting back and it's not helping you, so you got to do something. But shooting is never the answer.
Well,
never, ever the answer. You know?
Absolutely right. I was just going to say, unfortunately, there are people who've tried to fight back, and when they did, they got in trouble. And it's unfortunate because they fought back after taking it for so long, and then when they blew up and reacted, it seemed like it was a huge thing, and next thing you know, it's on CNN. And they're saying, well, why would he do that?
But that's what
well, if he was
saying.
kicking his butt every day, what do you expect is eventually going to happen? I mean, this kid could be going home with his little science. He's a nerd. He's going home with his little science, trying to figure out how he's going to blow up the school the next day in chemistry class. I mean that's the reality of what you are. I think we create our own bullies. We create our own terrorists. We create all of that. So I'm totally agree with you, Sahiri. What's your thoughts on it, Don?
But on another end of that, though, a lot of students that are being bullied, I mean, teen suicides are a lot higher now than they used to be. And it's because a lot of students or kids who are being bullied, I mean, they think they have nothing to live for, and then they want to kill themselves, which
Absolutely
is
right.
horrible. But, I'm just glad that all 5, well, there is one that's in critical condition, but that everybody else is okay. Mr. Brooks, Marcellus Brooks, is the 17-year-old gentleman who did the shooting, and he is in jail. So,
which unfortunately is another young life who could have been a brilliant mind, and we don't know what he could have done or accomplished, and now he's in exactly where I feel like people consider the man want you to be, because jail is a business once again in this country, and it's big business.
But I wanted to speak on the teen pregnancy. I mean, not teen pregnancy. Sorry, but the teen suicide.
Oh, okay.
I think that because we have social media, because in school somebody has said something about me.
But see, what normally
it
happens
goes-
is like, and normally they do end up saying something. Like they'll say something either on social media or they'll say something to somebody that they feel comfortable talking to about. But what 9 times out of 10, they never believe them.
Well, it's not that. I'm just saying if a rumor is going around about me, because of the era we're from, we think about damage control. Like, okay, all I gotta do is just tell these key people before, and it won't get out of control. But because we have the internet, it's like your business is out here and it's spreading. It's like before you can even figure out who to tell, or everybody knows already. So it's like the rumors start and you feel like there's nothing you can do but just die. Because you remember when you was a teenager, somebody, you just want to die all the time. People, they really feel like there's no way to bounce back from that, because it's like everybody knows. There's nobody you can go to and it's like, okay, well, this person don't know this about me or this lie about me. They'll talk to me. Everybody's like cutting you off.
And the funny thing about that is when we were kids, well, I'm just going to put it out there because I'm in my early 40s. When I was kids, I got bullied. And when you went home, that was your safe haven. There was no major cell phones, no social, no Facebook, no none of that. So whatever bullying issues I dealt with and I had to deal with, I could escape that in the privacy of my own room. You know what I mean? And go into my world with my own friends or whatever I needed to do. These kids feel like there's no escape because it's constantly all around them. Your phone rings every time there's a notification from Twitter or Facebook. So, you're constantly checking because you're trying to see what people are having to say. So you're terrorized constantly, whether you're actually in the presence of the person who's terrorizing you or you're not, or they're coming through the computer age. So I just think it's very unfortunate because once again, that teenage phase, everything is dramatic and so serious and life-ending. I mean, somebody starts a rumor. I remember when we were in high school, they used to call, one of the things they used to say is, don't end up on a whole list. There was really no whole list, but it was a rumor. And everybody was trying not to end up on this whole list, quote unquote. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And these were the girls or guys who were easy, but it was more girls than guys. More easy, or they were doing certain things, and you didn't want to end up on a list. There were girls I used to talk to, and they were terrified that they were ending up on the list. Nobody ever produced this list. Nobody ever saw this list. It was the rumor.
It's not a real list, but you can be on the list without it being written down.
But the point I'm making is it was enough to cause people to... Two people I know left high schools, because their parents felt like they needed to start all over again at another school.
See, I feel like that was weaker than them. They could have built up in that moment.
But I'm saying that's that kind of stuff. I mean, kids have been pulled out of school for less, and y'all know what I'm talking about. It's some craziness.
This is making me think of another book called Odd Girl Out, and it's about the aggression of women. The aggression of really, it's about women and anger, like the youth. We don't recognize when women are angry with each other or how to do conflict resolution, because most times when girls are bullying each other, it looks like friendship to us as adults. And in that book, the woman interviewed people from all different backgrounds, black, white, rich, poor, all different schools, all different sides of the country, and it was basically all the same thing, saying that the adults didn't understand and see the signs of how this, like, one girl would be just really quiet and the other girl would be overly boisterous and happy, and it would seem like everything was okay. But that was that girl's bully, and they were, friends from the outside. And we've all had that girl who everybody likes, and nobody could ever believe that she would ever do anything mean or bad. It's like, she's just awesome. I mean, and if you're her friend and she wants to be your friend, you need to be happy. And it's like, those are the girls that, some people pressure their kids to be in friendships with people, and it's kind of like, that's a bullying situation, and it's hard for the child to talk to them when they feel like this person is up on such a pedestal.
No, I agree with that completely. I'm going to transition over from this topic, since we were talking about the bullying, into an area that is just kind of making it my segment for the week. This is Heidi talking, since I work with the child abuse industry as a whole and nonprofit. One of our main issues, of course, is child exploitation. And of course, once again, we repeat, Atlanta is the #1 hub because we are the Hollywood of the South. We have all the entertainment, all the conferences, business conferences, all of the major events, and it has drawn this particular type of culture into our city, which are men and women who want to sell and buy children as a commodity for a price. And so one of the things I learned this week at a training in Macon, which I thought was interesting, from the GBI, they were saying that the new way for a pimp to hook either a boy or a girl is through the gaming system community. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? So apparently, because I'm not into video games, I didn't think about it like this. But if y'all seen the movies where like when you hook into a video game and now you sync in with other people, like you're playing the game with a community of people at the same time in different places
online,
and you may not know those people, but you guys are all synced into the same game. Well, apparently the pimps have figured out that a lot of boys and girls who are isolated and they're into the gaming, because you know a lot of kids who are into gaming, sometimes they don't have a lot of friends,
right?
And they're you know, shy and they don't have a lot of people, so they make these communities their friends. And if they don't feel supported, they're looking for that.
Right.
So they figured out that to get to some of these kids is to start talking them while they're gaming and saying, hey, you smarter than that, you could have knocked that out. I see you in here all the time, you know, giving them the self-esteem and obviously the support that they're not hearing at home or around their friends or family, and coaxing them to finally at some point say, hey, since we're all good friends in the gaming community, why don't we meet out for some drinks? And then the kids are either being kidnapped or coerced into the exploitation business, because once again, pimps don't come at you hitting and swatting and cursing you out. They come at you as a father figure, mother figure, as a supportive figure. They bring you in because they say, hey, your dad ain't doing that for you, I'll buy that for you.
Right, I can help you out.
I can help you out with this.
Right.
Your parents need some money here. I help you make some money, and then you can give them to them. You know, they come in a different way, because once again, exploitation is not on, I'm old school, Stewart Avenue anymore, which is Metropolitan Ave. It's not walking up and down the street corners. It's Backpage, Craigslist, all of the dating sites, all of the sex sites. That's the way that kids are being sold and purchased, you know, across, not only within our country, but across the world. So I just thought it was real interesting. The GBI has suggested to parents that don't just monitor your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Instagram pages, you know, your kids' pages, but you need to know who your kids are chatting with and talking to, and look into the chatting groups they're with online as well, because this is how they're meeting strangers, because they're saying, hey, I'll meet you, I'll pick you up after school, you need a ride to your practice, your mom's never there to take you. You got a latchkey kid who's trying to get to a practice and they can never get there because their mom is never home or drunk or something else. They just use this as an example.
Wow.
They're saying, I'll come pick you up. I'll make sure you buy dinner, and I'll make sure you get home safely. And then those kids disappear. And then they end up in the business. So I thought that was just a point that I wanted to put out there to our listeners and to our parents, for all of you all listening, that this is a new tech age, and that the pimps, whether it be women or men, you know what I mean, are getting smarter. So, you know, you just got to monitor all of the technology. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I just wanted to bring that up.
I know of a woman who had a 14-year-old daughter go missing. She was actually a member of a group that I was a professional group. And it was really, really heartbreaking to watch her with these flyers and just the hope in her eyes. It was just like, she had to believe that she was still out there. You know what I mean? And she had stacks of flyers to give out to. She came to the meeting, you know, we all, hey, how you doing? And she just kind of by herself. And then when the meeting got started, she passes out the flyers. And we watch it, and we looking at it, and we're like, what? Who is it? My daughter. And it's like, everybody's crying, and we all went out. And, you know, out to Metropolitan, and she was actually found like 2 weeks later. They found her, and somebody, because of the flyers, she's saturated where she knows that, you know, somebody, like you said, Metropolitan, somebody would hear something. I mean, even if she wasn't snatched on that side, she probably come through that side. She just saturated that side of town. And when her daughter came back, she was drugged up. She had tracks. She had been taking drugs. They forced her. They drugged her, and basically made her, you know, have sex for money. I mean, if you saw her, she looked like a grown woman. That was the problem I had with it, because it's like, if you had seen her, you would never know, okay, that's a child walking around in a little skirt.
Right.
You would think that she was just like, a young woman.
Any other woman.
So it's kind of like, you have to pay attention. We have to pay attention. We have to have each other's back, because really it just takes people paying attention to help bring some of these people back. But I'm just glad she came back. She had a lot of issues after that, and it was really sad. But I was just happy that, as a mother, like, you got to you found your kid, and and now she's all about. I'm sure she want to be a part of sexual exploitation prevention because of the hell she went through with that situation, and it was scary to watch. And I just knew her from just knew her, and it was just I started to think about it, and it just made me sad. It did too much to me.
It seems to be a growing problem. I'm hearing more and more and more about it, and it's
not just fast girls. You remember how it was just the fast girls that would be disappearing, the girls that they. And when you're a woman, you can be called fast, and you're not, just because you develop faster than other people do. They just, and that's what makes the girls targets too, because it's like, okay, you're young and you're in a womanly way, and you're not going to make me feel like I'm a pedophile.
Right.
When the lights go off. And a lot, they justify this to themselves of why it's not bad to do.
Right.
That's the scary part too, to know what type of man you're dealing with, or just that spirit, even if it's on a female, that she's a... Because I don't like people when they try to flirt with my son. He's 6, and they're like, he's so cute, and it's like, let me hold you and stuff. A lot of people would not think twice if it's happening to their son. But, when you have a daughter, men are careful about what they say to other men about their daughter. Like, oh, your daughter look good. It's like, you don't ever hear a man say that, But it's like, women feel...
That's not appropriate.
This woman told my son at the barbershop, she said... And this was an old lady. Like, she's like, are you married? And he was looking at her like, what? And so, because you could barely understand what she was saying. And so she said, do you have a job? And he said, no. And then she said, well, it's too bad we can't get married. And later my son said, Mom, I don't think I'm ever getting a job, because that just saved me from that lady.
Oh my Lord!
She said this to a 6-year-old. She's got issues.
But see, it's like, you think it's cute because it's a boy. Nobody thinks anything of it.
The only thing that I will ever say to a cute little boy is, "Ooh, he gonna be a heartbreaker when he grow up,"
which is true.
But I mean,
that's as far as you go with.
But I've seen women even dance with little boys, like at weddings and stuff. They think that, okay, well, I'm gonna give him a little taste of what a woman. If you were a grown man and that was a little girl, that would just be totally bogus. Like, nobody would accept that. But a lot of people feel like it's different. If you have a son, it's different from if you have a daughter.
Wow.
So, and I think that when you specify,
don't little boys have a stage? We have 3 handsome men sitting over here
in the corner.
We know it's all ladies that y'all hear, but we have 3 handsome men sitting over here, and they've been little boys at some point in their life. Some a little longer than others. But I have a question. So isn't there a point when you're a little boy that you think little girls are nasty? It's like, ew, I don't want to kiss, ew, little girl. No, it's not. Okay, we have one shaking his head. No.
Our producer's looking at his cell phone like.
So then why is it when little boys? So then why is it when little boys see their parents kissing, they say, ew?
That's different. So y'all trying to tell me, even as little boys, y'all thought girls were cute?
You never thought it was nasty to kiss a girl, or?
Oh Lord! But it's just interesting. But it's interesting we brought this up, because once again, I want to reiterate, when we talk about exploitation, everybody always coins girl, and it's not just girl.
But it's
a lot of boys who are being in the business as well.
It seems like we hear about it more with boys. I hate to say this, in the Catholic churches with the priests and them being molested and all of that stuff. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
Heidi?
we do.
I'm not saying that it doesn't.
Thing,
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen with boys in other realms.
No. I completely agree with you. I think that it's not publicized exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and because
I see it more because I'm in the business,
right?
So I see those kids coming in and out. But I will say this: a lot of our kids are attracted to things that they can get fast. Fast money, fast shoes, fast clothes, music, anything they can buy with cash. And if you're flashing a whole lot of cash, whether you're a boy or girl, that could tempt any child who doesn't have those things to begin with. Because you're not, but let me just say this, GBI did remind me today, that's Georgia Bureau of Investigations, the exploitation is all around the state, not just in the metro urban area, it's all in the rural areas.
I heard it's most popular in Gwinnett County.
It's very popular in the suburbs, and a lot of the suburban kids who are latchkey kids, who parents are home, who make a lot of money. When you leave your child home with their devices and their computers and their electronic gizmos and they're babysitting themselves, what do you expect? At some point, this could be a reality, because if you have no supervision for this situation, this could happen to you. So I'm just telling the parents out there, be aware, know what's going on around you, because even our kids are getting recruited off the school grounds, and they're being recruited by not pimp in a long, in a long mink coat or anything like that. They're being recruited by other kids, girls and boys.
And see, the thing is, it's like, you know how
need to know that
when kids are in elementary school, you know, when you come to pick them up, there has to be, that person has to be on whatever the list is or whatever to pick the child up, right?
From school, but not from a bus stop.
Right. In elementary school, is it like that in middle school too?
Yeah, it is. They've actually got what I thought was interesting. You have to line up, the cars line up. You see them when they line up in front of the schools, and you have to announce who you are, and your information has to match the child's information before you can put the child in the car. I didn't even know they were doing that.
But see,
but still, like if your child rides the school bus, you don't have to have any of that. When they get off the bus, and it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? See,
and so they're standing on the corners. I see what you're saying.
But the reason I brought that up is because once you get to high school, there's not that anymore, because the kids are supposed to be old enough to pretty much be responsible for themselves, whether or not you ride the bus or you have a car or you ride home with a friend or you walk home or whatever. It's like there's not that same level of making sure the child is okay once the child is in high school. So the high school kids are more prone to the stuff that the stuff that you're talking about. And I mean, you're still naive when you're in high school. I mean, I know I was. You're still naive when you're in high school. You still don't know all of the things that you should know. So it's,
it's just going to be, as society continues to be very materialistic, it's going to get harder, because our kids just want things quickly and fast. And they don't want to work for it, and they watch YouTube, and they want to be a sensation like Justin Bieber, and they want everything quick. And as long as you want things fast and quick, you're a target for those people who are preying, or predators who are looking for this type of kid.
But that's the kind of society that we live in.
Let me ask you a question.
Everybody wants everything.
Do you feel like homosexuality, the acceptance of homosexuality and family, as far as, we all believing that gay people have the right to adopt and raise children, do you feel like that is tied into where homosexuality, where it ends, and then where I guess, what is that? What is that? What is the word? Pedophilia. The beginning of pedophilia. Because a lot of these gay people, not everybody, okay? All gay people have not started out this way, but there are a lot of people who are gay who cite molestation as their starting point of their new lifestyle. So basically, when we accept this lifestyle, what we're saying is that we accept that what happened to you as a child was okay. So that gives you permission kind of to do it to some other kids. When you become an adult and you become like, you're in the position to do it and pass that on. And I feel like a lot of people have that sickness on them because they were molested before, but then because we kind of embraced it, we're trying to have this zero tolerance against homosexuality, like homophobia. Like we should support it, and we should. A lot of people are hurting behind their first encounter with homosexuality, but for us to say that it's okay is basically turning those people into monsters. I could see that logic. I'm not saying I know anybody specifically. I'm not saying that all gay people are pedophiles. I'm just saying that they link to me in this equation, and we don't really give it a lot of conversation because we are afraid of how it makes people feel.
Well, this is the two things I am going to say about this. Because I have to approach this from the abuse side, because this is what I do.
Okay.
Anybody who's abused sexually or physically, emotionally, or mentally at a young age is influential, and can have the proclivities to abuse themselves. We have those cases all the time that arise in our centers. We provide therapeutic services for free for kids and family so that these children can come to a point that they're not in crisis, they can normalize, and they can lead a normal life, and that they would not, go down that road of, well, I was touched, so I'm going to touch somebody too. It doesn't always lead to homosexuality, but we do have a lot of that going on here in the city. I'm just letting you know now. In my career, I did over 500 cases, and I know friends who've done thousands of cases like this. What I will say is there's always going to be a faction of the community who were molested or abused at an age who have a story of going into homosexuality. That was one path that happened. What I don't have is the research on what is that continued effect as a result of them, raising kids or having normal lives or having, relationships. I don't have a lot of, I'm just being honest, I don't have a lot of research or info on that. I will say this, in the adoption communities right now, in Atlanta specifically, you got a lot of things you got to do before you can adopt kids. But some of my better parents were same-sex situations were same-sex situations. So I can't hate on that situation. I'm just talking about from my field. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that the parents that raised that kid were molested either, because that doesn't necessarily mean that they were.
Right.
What I will tell you is there is a group and a faction, and we do note it in our business, of kids who have been molested who are having sexuality issues after and are trying to figure out whether they want to lead a straight life or whether they want to lead a gay life. And that creates a lot of turmoil, because when you're a kid, it's a lot. It's heavy. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to say this, Sayuri. If you're dealing with that turmoil and you don't get help for it, however way you come out, it's going to affect you as an adult in your relationships and how you proceed.
Right.
I'm just being honest.
I read an article where pedophiles were upset and trying to call out homosexuals about not allowing them to be on the bandwagon with their rights, because they're all saying that they're born that way, and then they added that they can help with the youth violence, and that all they needed was love, and if we would let the boys in our bed, we can keep them out of jail. It was very disturbing.
Oh yeah, that's NAMBLA. That's NAMBLA, the organization that supports pedophilia. That's a real organization, an international organization, and it is. These are people who believe in that it is totally okay to sleep with children. Basically, that's, to have a sexual or physical relationship with children. NAMBLA's been putting out stuff forever. And there is a large community of people who think that this is okay. So, and I'm not advocating any of that, because the law in Georgia is you can't consent. You know what I'm saying? Until you're 16.
To sexual activity.
Right. That's the law. It's 16.
It's not 18?
No, it's 16.
Yeah.
That's the law in Georgia. That's the statute. So that
I probably I'm thinking, because I'm from South Carolina. I'm thinking
and every state may be different. 16 but in Georgia, the law of consent is 16.
Wow.
Right?
There are some states where it's 15 or 14.
Right.
You're absolutely correct. And Alabama, back in the day when we had the House of Prayer scandal, Alabama's law of consent was 14. And that's why the Reverend was taking kids from across state lines over there to marry congregation folks in his congregation to back up what he was doing in his church, because he knew the law was different in Alabama than it was in Georgia.
Right.
So you got some folks who have some twisted ways, but in Georgia, once again, the age of consent is 16.
But you know what?
We have come to
I know that's probably a whole nother topic for a whole nother show.
Yeah. So we're going to close out on a little bit of a positive note. Ladies, summer is coming up. Spring is in the air. Summer will be here June 21st. So I want to know Anybody got any interesting, great, wonderful summer plans going on?
It looked like it's gonna be Weight Watchers. I need 21 pounds to go. 1 more pounds. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Working out,
Working
getting
out,
sexy.
fitness oriented. That's what it's looking
Getting
like.
sexy, and your husband is a trainer, right? So is he?
He's already a personal trainer, ladies. So
he getting you right. All right now. Okay, that's a good one, Sayuri.
What you got going on?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna play it by ear. I have a son. He's 6, and I just have to show him the world. We're gonna probably have another book coming. He has a book that he's working on, and that's one of his little projects that we're gonna do for the summer, so that he can raise money for his Wii U that he wants. Because he wants something. I'm telling him what he needs to do in order to get it for himself, and I'm giving him the summer for that, and that's gonna be kind of fun to watch him see how you have to. Do you really want it, or do you just? Nah, it's okay. Yeah, you just,
right.
But see, he's writing out his plan, and it's really nice, and I'm giving him the summer to do that. So.
Wow.
Well, that's good.
That's cool. He's gonna be a little entrepreneur. I'm not mad. Sorry, I'm not mad at that at all.
That's right. That's
Get
right.
It. Start them early.
Yes, ma'am.
John, what's your plans for the summer?
My plans for the summer, well, y'all have already heard, but June, let's see, next month I'm going to South Beach to celebrate 40th birthday with a friend.
That's awesome.
And this is my first time going to South Beach, so I'm a little excited. I've been to Miami before, but I've never been to South Beach.
Okay.
So doing that. Then in July I'm going to the Essence Festival. So
okay,
that's gonna be it for the summer.
Well, I do say this: my husband and I, after 9 years, we've never had a honeymoon. So this year we are going. I know it didn't happen. So this year we are going to Las Vegas to hang out amongst the slots and the glitz and the glam. And I'm actually kind of excited because my whole thing is you got to do something at least once. I've heard a whole lot about Las Vegas, but I feel like you need to experience at least once for yourself.
Yes.
And then get the feel. Hopefully we'll get to see the Boys II Men concert because they're in town doing a show there. Concert.
Yes.
Yes, girl.
I'm a Boys II Men junkie.
And he's a Boys II Men fan.
Junkie.
Right.
I know.
So that's what we're going to do this summer. So I'm just letting y'all know it's never too late to do the things that you want to do, ladies, couples, all you. Because like I said, it's been 9 years and I deserve a honeymoon. So that's what we're doing this year.
Oh, wow.
That's right. We want everybody to enjoy the summer. We got Father's Day coming up. We got 4th of July coming up. So
I'm going to be doing the Real Men Cook on Father's Day.
Oh, yes. Our producer, Roy, say that one more time, Roy.
I'm going to be doing the Real Men Cook on Father's Day. Y'all got to say that.
He's doing the Real Men Cook. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's something that they do every year on Father's Day.
They asked me to do it. I got a message.
Yeah.
So you know what you cooking, Roy?
That's sexy, man, in the kitchen.
I've got to do it before the 20th. I've got to figure out what I'm going to be cooking by then.
Okay. Do you know how to cook, Roy? I'm just checking.
You don't pay attention yet. It's time to go.
On that note,
Hello.
on that note, we hope that you guys enjoyed us this evening. Once again, this is a Queen's Eye View with Sayuri and
Dawn Michelle.
And Dawn Michelle, yes, she corrected me, and Heidi. And we missed our girl Shay, but hopefully she'll be back next week. So we just want to tell you all we love you and have a great night.